get so mad, there's no control of me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had shut the fuck up real bad. Shut up.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children all of ages, the BX Sports Jedi Network present to you the most electrifying, the most captivating, up-and-coming, growing wrestling podcast of the world. He is the BX Sports Jedi, the Samurai. This is the Heel of the Ring SmackDown edition. Salute, Samurai. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm phenomenal. Wonderful. We're about 24 hours away of in Hell in a Cell. We're going to review SmackDown, and we're about 2 hours away before NXT In Your House, my fan. Let's go with SmackDown, the SmackDown, and it was Friday night SmackDown, June 3rd edition. Of course, we started it off with a promo. We had the New Day rocks. They brought in their third honorary member for a while here, and it was Drew McIntyre. The promo opened up the show. Speaking about their victory last night against the Brawling Brutes, or whoever they want to be called here. And all in all, what you thinking about opening up SmackDown with a promo and New Day? They always get the crowd rolling. What's your thoughts?
I like it. I mean, for what it is, it's always good to hear from the New Day, even though I don't really think that. I think their shtick is drawn, getting old. But what it is, it's something.
Some folks think that the New Day stick is a little old, but they know how to play up to a crowd. When Elijah comes out with the trombone. And you saw Kofi. They were very funny. Their jokes were new. They were fresh. They were hilarious. Then they bring McIntyre out here, and they're showing a personality. They're helping Drew McIntyre, who normally, personally, I'm not a fan of. I think he's dry. I think he's really boring as a promo cutter. And his shtick, I'm not a fan of him. I'm going to be totally honest. But seeing him that he was working with New Day, and all in all, I really enjoy it as we see some cuts there. Them in the mic, you saw Xavier Woods had that King. That I'm glad they're trying to bring back him. Well, remember he is the King of the Ring winner.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought, wasn't he King of the Ring?
Yes, that's why he has that on. I really liked it, and then they had a present for Drew McIntyre, and he want to know who. They got him a present for McIntyre. McIntyre opens it up. He got it killed. Better known as the new member. He says he has a big shoes to fill in Big E, so he'll be the Big D.
Yeah, that's kind of provocative. If you think about it, like, come on now, what are they doing here? And then he actually tried to go. He actually was going to explain the meaning of Neo to the Steel, his shirt. But then they were like, "You're going too far there."
I loved it. And also they played out. Shout out to the beautiful people in Ohio, your neck of the woods, and you guys spelled out your state. You guys, the crowd was so hot and so into it. It was loud. It looked great on TV, and I was like, whoa, this was a crowd to be appreciative. You guys really took out the welcoming wagon for WWE SmackDown last night. And that promo and the crowd, I'm going to give it myself. I'm going to give it an A.
An A.
An A.
I'm going to give it an A too, because like, I mean, every time they come to whether it be Cleveland or Columbus or even Cincinnati, the crowd always, you know, they're always loud and boisterous.
Loved it. I loved it. Then we had an interruption, of course, with the Brawling Brutes, and it set up a match. I know we set up, oh, not again, you know, another match. That part I was like, What's your thoughts of that match, them going again?
It was for what it was. I mean, I don't know. I'm like you, I get tired of seeing the same match over and over and over again, week by week by week. So it was just, no, not for me. I mean, I did like the fact that they got the win, the Brawling Brutes got the win, but it's just too much.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit of laziness, in my opinion, from creativity, because again, you're gonna put these guys, you're giving us back-to-back weeks, you know, with the 6-man tag. This time we have the Brawling Brutes win it. I don't know. One thing before that, we did find out. Sorry to skip a little bit, folks. We did find out that Drew McIntyre is going to be the challenger in Clash of the Castle against Roman Reigns in a couple months in September. So we did get some clarification on that. That was brought up to the forefront, which was cool. We all right. And then he goes, if you guys ever need my help or anything, I'm here. So the alliance with along with the New Day. But back to the match, I thought the match was fine. Here's the one thing that we talk about, Samurai. What has this match improved from the last matches over and over? What is captivating? What happened? And that failed to deliver. It was just another match. It felt like we were giving us a match from a house show, and you know, outside of TV network, just a regular house show, and that was a little bit disappointing. I'm going to give that a C-.
A C-. I'm going to do you one better and give it a C, like room for improvement. I mean, not really, not so much as like room for improvement, but just because I'm tired of seeing the same match over and over and over again.
Yeah. The same match, or a C- or D+, you know, because the same, you know, what did we learn? And that could have been done on a house show. And it felt like you're giving us on a house show somewhere in the middle of Des Moines, on a Saturday night or Saturday main event type of deal with no TVs. And I was a little disappointed there. But we'll move on to the next segment on that. Well, you know, we saw some commentary, you know, from McAfee. One thing I'm going to, before we even move even further, I'm going to say Michael Cole and McAfee, one of the best, if not the best right now on commentary, better than Raw. Forget it. ABW, forget it. Those commentators stink on Dynamite. I like Rampage commentators better than Dynamite. I know I know, but I'm going with SmackDown has the best commentator all in all. Pat McAfee gets it. He is funny. He is sharp. And, of course, Michael Cole is a solid professional in 25 years. They mentioned it several times last night. He only missed 2 weeks out of 25-year career as a commentator on WWE in general, between SmackDown and Raw.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, Pat McAfee, like, he understands. I mean, if he doesn't know what's going on, he'll genuinely act surprised, which I like in commentary, because you don't get that much. You used to get that back in the Attitude Era. Now you barely get it, and because they want you to know who's winning and whatnot. Like if I was doing commentary, I wouldn't want to know who wins. I wouldn't be genuinely surprised. I think that's how McAfee acts, and I like it.
Yeah. And I'll move on from there. We go to segment. We see that Jinder Mahal is going to take out Humberto from Los Lotarios. They make their way to the ring, and of course, you saw last week's promo with Shanky, who just wants to dance. He has an eye on the young ring announcer, and you want to see them concentrated and with the dancing gimmick. They have a match. Of course, Lotarios comes down. They find a very pretty, beauty lady. They gave her around the kiss cam. We have the match. We started a match. The modern day Masharra scores a win in a non-disruptive match. But he's more concerned with Shanky's new gimmick. What you think about Shanky with all the dancing with Samantha Irving? I got her name. It was just I was trying to remember. I know it was Samantha, but Samantha Irving's and teasing a possible on-screen pairing between the two. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah,
I don't know. The match itself was okay. I mean, I'm surprised that Jinder Mahal got the win, but all in all, I'm really conflicted because I like Shanky, but at the same time, I don't like where he's going with his gimmick. He shouldn't be dancing. He's a tall, 7-foot tall giant. He should be demolishing his opponents.
Yeah, he's giving me vibes of Great Khali. It's like copy and paste. Remember Khali was this menacing, and then he came out to a dancing and caressed. I want to see Shanky get in the ring and be destructive. Have that mean streak of a wrestler. I think I know the fans want to please him, and I know we mentioned on the program here before. Why does that the Indian character, the Indian descent, have to be a heel? We saw that. We've seen that a little bit with what's the other guy, Veer Mahal, and now with I would like Shanky. I understand what Shanky's trying to be, the lovable guy, to get the crowd dancing, but he should be real serious and be a destructive giant. Unless if this is going to lead to a feud with Ricochet down the road, because we know Samantha Irving is Ricochet's partner outside of behind the fourth wall, and maybe they might cross that fourth wall into the wrestling ring here to the storyline where Ricochet doesn't like the fact that he's trying to romanticize Samantha Irving. Who knows how that rolls? And we might have a program. We have to, before we give that any thumbs up or down, let it marinate. Let's see where the storyline takes us first before we hate it or love it. In my opinion, the match, I give that a D. I think Los Totarios, they're just a comedic gimmick, and they got more. I think there's more to them. They could be utilized better. I don't think story-wise and gimmick-wise they're used better. I think they could be a heel tag team that people would get under people's skin and hate. And I wish they would change that and stop being the tag team jobbers of SmackDown.
I'm with you there. I give it a D plus. Because I like Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, but I don't like where they're going with them. They need to be more of a established threat, if that makes sense.
I agree with you there. So yeah, so we move on. We were announced, we were announced a big 6-pack challenge for the number one contender match. This is the what WWE had envisioned about a month and a half ago when it came to Raw and their women's tag team, when they had when they were 6-woman pack that what caused Naomi and Sasha to walk out. They didn't agree with this, but they did it here on SmackDown, and they had the competitors, all these ladies in. First, they saw the promo in the back. We saw that Shanti and Aaliyah back and forth. Aaliyah locked Shanti, missed her opportunity to when Ronda Rousey called out for an open challenge, and back and forth last week. And we saw now Aaliyah, tables were turned. Shanti closes the door on Aaliyah, and she couldn't get in. Before they start the match, all 5 ladies are in the ring, and they wanted to get the match going, and you see Ashanti was like, no, ring the bell. She's not here. Shotzi. And all and behold, Aaliyah shows up, and they started off with the match going back and forth. Wow. You know what? Once again, the WWE ladies are ahead, leaps and bounds, and they did a phenomenal job. They did a phenomenal job.
I had technical difficulty. I'm sorry.
Yes. I figured. I'm not mentioning about the 6-pack ladies. The match was phenomenal. They did a phenomenal job. The women, just to showcase the women. Sometimes it gets me on my thinking cap on and go, well, what was Sasha Naomi's gripe about? Oh, the women's tag team. Really? Because when WWE does something, they do something good. This here with the women's 6-pack, it was the match itself. The ladies were great performers. I loved it. You saw Raquel utilizing her strength, her power, her athleticism to dominate at times. You saw Baszler also being there, being an impact. Each of the ladies was showcased here. I love the fact that you're seeing a grudge match type of deal with Shanti and Aaliyah. They're going at it. They don't like each other, and you could see a feud, and I love it. And they're building something there. All the different storylines that were part of it, as we see some pictures there, going off the top ropes. The ladies were going berserk and bananas there. To my surprise, there's this WWE surprise, and it's a pleasant surprise though. We see the winner of the match. You see Raquel did a beautiful corkscrew off the top ropes. She's phenomenal. She's a star. To me, hook, line, and sinker. She's the next up and coming star in SmackDown for the ladies. And she was getting a submission hold done on Baszler, and you saw Natalya get a win, and she rose up and becomes a winner, and she's gonna get an opportunity next week to take on, actually in Hell in a Cell, take on Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Champion. What's your thoughts on that?
I was pleasantly surprised, actually, because I didn't expect. I honestly expected to go to someone else like Shannon Baszler or Shotzi or Xia Li. Well, not so much Xia Li. She hasn't really been there to do anything, but somebody else other than Natalya, which actually surprised me. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was a surprise. Good for Natalya. You saw Natalya. We saw her a couple weeks ago. She went down to NXT, had a great match, kind of a teachable moment match with Cora Jade, down in NXT. That was a really good match with there. We saw Natalya as a veteran who's been around, and you put her in a match on a pay-per-view or a premium event with Rousey. She could actually help carry Rousey in that match, because let's face it, I think Rousey is huge rough around the edges. You don't have Charlotte Flair to help her carry her along to these kind of matches and help her make a memorable moment, as many of these people still didn't like those matches, but you still need a good ring in worker, and you're going to have it with Natalya. And we shall see if Natalya, they think about putting the strap, although Rousey just got the title and you don't want to be a place warmer, but I hope Natalya brings it. I hope Natalya brings it to where she brings it and gets that opportunity. Good for her. I'm happy for her. You didn't bury Raquel yet. Raquel already had that loss already to Rousey, but you don't bury her either in this, and you don't want to go one-on-one again for the title. You already saw it again. Raquel, you're gonna have your moment. You're gonna have to start working uphill battle, and that's fine. You want to build that chase. Because we really want Raquel to win, and you don't want to get a squash. But you also, Rousey just got the title. You don't want to take the title, put it onto an inexperienced Raquel yet, or not build up a fan base or rapport yet, a storyline with Raquel. So I see what they're doing there. I saw that. I said, Raquel's not going to win this. This is a way of saying, Raquel, we're not going to have you get pinned or lose your momentum, but we're going to bring. So I loved it. Those that say that this is not created by WWE, or whatever the case, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. That's why I'm kind of disappointed with Naomi and Sasha not wanting, if that's true, if everyone says it's a shoot. I think it's a work. I think they just needed some time off. And for the ladies, they just needed some time off. But I don't want to rehash that. We talked enough about that. We'll move on there. I love it. What's your thoughts with the outcome and title all in all?
I mean, like I said, I liked it. I liked the entire match itself. I just didn't like the fact that you could have given it to somebody that really. I would have been surprised if they gave it to Xia Li, because she's like a newcomer to SmackDown per se. But she's phenomenal. Her wrestling ability is phenomenal. If you really watch how she hits that scorpion kick, and then I thought she was gonna win there.
No, she's. I still think the crowd, the audience, don't know her yet. I think they need. I think personally now it's up to the WWE bookers to book her on SmackDown, to get her over, to get her popping before we could get her elevated to the next level. I think, Zion Lee. I like Zion Lee. I think she's good too. I'm excited for the women and Raw, as well as NXT. I think there's a lot of great women wrestlers in the company. That's why, and WWE knows what they're doing. Heck, they were the only company that feature all women pay-per-view. And I know they know what they're doing when it comes to showcasing the women's talent in WWE. But at the end we had the stare off challenger champion in the ring, which was good. It's good to see a champion show up on Friday nights to thank you for coming and coming to Columbus, to Ohio last night. We appreciate that there, and we'll move on. We move on to the next segment. In there, we had a site. We got a recap of what happened with Cap Moss. We know he's returning to confront Happy Corbin, and behold, we get a new looking Madcap Moss. And I love the fact when they debuted him where we last saw him in an ambulance, and he comes out. He ditches the suspenders, he ditches the clown routine, and he comes out looking like a house of fire. First and foremost, how do you like his reintroduction back after being injured?
It kind of reminded me of it kind of reminds me of Dean Ambrose when he would come out of the ambulance after he would leave and get hurt or whatever. He come out back of the ambulance like that. But I mean, his presentation, he looks like a WWE 2K22 created wrestler template.
Right, and you saw now. Yes,
yeah. I just feel like he should at least wear something more presentable. I consider it look like a created character.
Now we saw him come out more serious demeanor. He had even had a new theme music, the new look, more serious demeanor. He came out. Happy Corbin interrupts the proceeding before. We saw official Adam Pearce come out, order a match to start immediately between these two guys. So we had a match there, not just a back and forth promo, back and forth cut. It was an actual match after several moments of stalling by Corbin and a irate Moss, and he unloaded. He unloaded on his rival, and it got to the point where he lost it. He even had a steel chair, and he was going to return the favor onto Corbin, and he did. He hit him with the chair, caused a disqualification. A short match there, a short segment, but of course the promo, the build up. All in all, we see this, guys. There's a lot of bad blood there, and all in all, we saw in the program. What's your thought on that program between these two men?
I mean, as long as Happy Corbin gets what he gets what he deserves, I'm fine with it.
Okay, and then we see at the backstage, Corbin wants suspension for Madcap, and Adam Pearce says, "Wait a minute, you did the same thing. Why should I suspend him there? Here's what I'm gonna do." I think they added that as the grudge match in Hell in the Cell this coming Sunday. So now we're able to get a match out of this and add it last second, which I love. Do it, and phenomenal. We saw the crowd booing Pierce and company as they prevented Moss from dealing the crushing blow to Corbin. It's an angle that actually works for fans. To see Moss silent Corbin and get his measure of revenge for now. I liked it, my friend. I was a little over this feud with them, but now they took it to another level, and that's what we want. What can they do next to take it to another level? Now it's a grudge match. So we shall see and move on with that there for the next segment when we have the match announced earlier, the undisputed tag team champion, the Usos taking on the team of Riddle and Sasuke. Shisuke Masanori. What's your thoughts first on that? Were you hyped for that title match?
Yes and no. Yes and no, because I kind of expected them to lose, but then at the same time, I want to see Matt Riddle go off because it was coming.
Yeah, right. And before we even got into that, when I wanted to mention the segment, we had the backstage with none other than Adam Pearce and our own favorite Max Dupri come up and close talker says next week he will be debuting a new acquisition to Raw. To SmackDown, and he will be coming there next week. Stay tuned. A lot of speculation. Who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be? Before we get to the heavyweight title, tag team title main event, who do you think could be that he's talking about?
I think it could be Face. Okay. Mace, but they changed his name to Face. I don't know. I don't know
what was his NXT. What was his NXT name?
His NXT name was God.
Is it someone from NXT or someone outside of the WWE?
It could be someone from NXT. Okay. I mean, I know more than likely, or it could be, it could be somebody that we haven't seen on SmackDown yet, who is supposed to be on SmackDown, but he hasn't debuted yet. So it might be what is that guy's name? I can't think of his name right now, but I know his name. Gil Madden.
Gil Madden. Okay.
Yes,
I'm thinking it's not just, I think it's gonna be a tag team. He said one person. I think it's not, so we don't have speculation. I think it's gonna be a tag team. I think Max Dupri is gonna bring a tag team here to add some spice to bring it also to disrupt the Brawling Brutes a little or the New Day, just to add a wrinkle. And to me, and I hate to say them because I don't want to give away a spoiler what's going to happen in a couple minutes or an hour from now. To me, it's Pretty Deadly. I think Pretty Deadly gets the Reign roster call up, and I think they fit what Max Dupri is trying to sell, and I think he'll be Pretty Deadly in my opinion.
Nice. I think we will have to wait and see, but I just can't. I think it's gonna be like somebody we haven't seen on NXT yet, or not NXT, WWE or SmackDown yet. It's gonna be Face or Deal Man, whatever his name is gonna be, whatever. I don't know, but it's gonna be that guy.
All right, we move on here. We'll move on to the main event now. We can talk about the main event. I was gonna say RK, bro. It's Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Usos in a match where we saw them fight on Monday Night Raw. This is a match here on SmackDown. The match was a pretty good match here. You saw a much publicized unified tag team match, putting the Usos against the challenger. It did not turn out quite as expected, though. Thanks to a scripted mid-match injury suffered by the artist. Was it a work? Was it a shoot? They just added in there. We saw Nakamura injured his right knee, and of course he's walking away. And all in all, I thought Riddle looks like he's on a man on a mission who has a personal vendetta. Or he's saying that the Usos they use the angle that Randy Orton might not wrestle ever again in the WWE again because of an injury, back injury, might be out, career ending, and Riddle is hell bent to get revenge for his bro. I like that angle as well. I like the match. Riddle said, "You know what? I'm gonna do this by myself. I'll do a 2-on-1. I'll win unified, and for shit stain, get hurt. I'll do it for Randy." And all in all, you saw Riddle do some great moves in the ring, to the fact where he was gonna get a chance to do a super RK, bro. And all of a sudden, the Tribal Chief music plays. There is entrance, and Riddle just enough to get distracted, although he did hit the arcade. Super RKO, but Jimmy, who was the legal man, comes off with the splash and he gets the victory. And all in all, behind the scenes, we saw that it was a work by none other than the honorary member of the Bloodline, Sami Zayn. What's your thoughts on that? I know I said a handful.
I mean, I find it hilarious that he still thinks it's part of the bloodline. But all in all, I think that Sami Zayn is a gold mine, and I like the fact that they actually use Roman's music to distract Riddle, because Riddle has it out for Roman. So
Yes, and I like the match. The match we knew. Hey, I knew that the champs were not going to lose this match. They didn't look weak either. Neither did Riddle. Riddle didn't get squashed. Riddle fought. Riddle looked even more like a house of fire. After the match, you saw Sami Zayn come out to look for more approval from the Usos. Hey, look what I did. A little bit of brown nosing, and Riddle just exploded like a house of horror, like running up the ramp to attack Sami Zayn. Of course, Usos and the officials broke him up, and he was up irate. All in all, I loved it because Riddle did not look like a punk, did not get squashed. He still was irate, still had the heat, and he saw that crowd on him, and he wants some vengeance, like something. Now you could say, all right, if they continue feuding, it doesn't seem like it's like New Day and the Brawling Brutes, because now there's a wrinkle because you leave that Riddle needing more venom. There's still more venom. There's still more heat as a fan base that you want. Yeah, go get those SOBs. What's your thought on that?
I mean, I like it. Like I mean, it's something that I don't think we've seen Matt Riddle versus Sami Zayn yet. So that might be next Friday.
There you go. All in all, SmackDown. What's your review on it? Your letter grade on it? I thought SmackDown was a really good show. Very, very good. It's getting both the only people that say that SmackDown is boring. Just go do something better. Go read a book. Go read a book. Learn a craft. Do something. Just don't waste. Don't. If you don't like, don't watch it. Do something better. I thought it was very good that shows are getting much better. SmackDown has been the past few weeks been very entertaining. I'm gonna give this A minus. It was that entertaining, that good. Just that they don't get an A plus because of the Sheamus repeat match. Although the promo saved it, that's why they get the A minus. I think the promo was phenomenal. Was great. What's your thoughts?
I give it an A. An A just because of the Matt Riddle basically fighting from behind, and the promo at the beginning, I guess.
Yes.
All in all, it was a good show. I'm not gonna say it wasn't a good show, but it was a good show.
I agree with you. So that concludes our WWE SmackDown program prediction reviews. The program is not over yet, folks. We are going to now review WWE NXT In Your House that airs at 8 p.m. on the 4th day of June. We have an up and down match. Let's go with the first match. It's going to be for the world's champion. Braun Breaker takes on Joe Gracie. We know that this has been building. There's a lot of heat between these two competitors. They don't like each other. They want, mind games by Joe Gracie, back and forth. Let me ask you, my friend, as I find a picture of them too there. Who do you like in this matchup?
I'm gonna go with Joe Gacy for the win. I mean, despite the fact that we all know he might not win, but I'm gonna just throw a horseshoe in the plans here and say that Joe Gacy is gonna get the win.
I'm with you on that. I've been telling you, if you listen to our coverage on the program that we have when we do the NXT reviews week in and week out, I'm thinking the writers, the developers are trying to prepare us for a title run for Joe Gacy. Emphasizing if Breaker loses his temper, he could lose the match. All the different mind games. And I had that gut feeling. I said, you know what? They are preparing us for a world with Joe Gacy. The crowd in NXT Arena in Orlando don't like Gacy. You want that heat. You want that he's doing what a heel does, where everyone can't stand and wants him, literally to say, shut the F up. They have those chants, which I think is a little disrespectful. I think we think it to be classy, but that's for another show, another program, another time. But I like it. You know, I like the fact that, and of course, you know, Joe Gacy being an indie guy for all that time there, he has experience there. He's getting his character over. And NXT is going to be basically a nightmare now, and they're going to deserve a nightmare champion. So I'm going with Joe Gacy, in my opinion, for the win there. It'll be interesting there. So we move on to the next match here. Let's see and it's for the women's NXT title. We're going to have Mandy Rose, the veteran, taking on Wendy Chu. My man, Samurai, who do you like and why?
Well, I mean, I like them both, but we're not talking about sex appeal. I have Mandy Rose retaining here because I don't see them giving the title to Wendy Chu, at least not yet. Because she actually has her gimmick is horrible. She has like one of the worst gimmicks in NXT so far. But I think, you know, we'll be surprised and shocked if Mandy Rose does not retain.
Yeah, I'm going with you. I think Mandy Rose retains here. I think she'll beat her to the point of an injury, and because I think Wendy Chu is going to be off the TV for a little bit and coming back with a different gimmick.
I hope so.
That gimmick is cute. It's all cute and all, but if she wants to be taken to as a serious competitor and be a women's champion, I think that sleepy time with the with the onesies, it's going to be tough to sell to put a woman's title around her waist. You know, you can't take it serious. I understand that, you know, you're pleasing to young kids, young girls, and we know this to develop a character. And listen, she played and she developed that character of Sleepy Time to a perfection. And it shows that she could do whatever characters needed, whatever role the WWE needs her to perform, she could perform it. She made it. She sold it well. She did it well, but it's not championship material. Let's be honest with you. You know, could it be marketable? Yes, but not taken serious. She wants to be that could be marketable. She could sell a lot of toys, dolls, you know, figures. Yes, that character could definitely do that. But I don't know if Wendy Chu wants to be that or she wants to be known as a champion. It all depends on what direction she wants. If she wants to stay in the Sleepy Time, that's what's going to be her. She's going to be a cash cow in merchandise and gimmick. But if she wants to be taken as a champion, it won't. I don't think it works with the Sleepy Time with the onesies. Well, so we move on. Then let's find the next match before we review it. This is a match that I'm looking so much forward to myself. Cameron Grimes versus Carmelo Hayes. Now, this is for the North American title. Samurai, who do you like and why?
Cameron Grimes. I like Cameron Grimes because, I mean, he just won the title, like a month ago? He's not going to lose it. And if he does lose it, it shouldn't be to Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is actually ready for the main event. For the NXT, heavyweight championship. Or you can bring him up to the main roster because he's that good. He's that ready. I do foresee Trick Williams getting involved though. So I'm going to just go with Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes. Okay. I'm taking the opposite. I'm going with Carmelo Hayes. I think, yes, Cameron Grimes could be ready for the main roster. Absolutely. Also, Braun Breaker is ready for the main roster, especially if we see Gracie wins tonight. Maybe Breaker's ready to go to the main roster. Gracie reigns. I like Cameron Grimes to be the next for maybe an NXT title run first. Carmelo Hayes has the it factor. I am a huge fan of Carmelo Hayes. I think there's a lot of potential, and also Cameron Grimes. Don't get me wrong, both guys. But I really would like to see Carmelo Hayes win the North American title and kind of be like a placeholder for Solo Sikoa, because I wouldn't want to see Cameron Grimes lose to Sikoa. I'd rather see Carmelo Hayes, because you get that heel, face matchup chase there. But either way, whichever one wins, I'm okay with too, because I really like Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. I think they're a good tag team, but if they want Carmelo Hayes to be a solo act or singles, no pun intended, a Solo Sikoa, but a singles competitor, maybe this title run will help them to see if, and when they do, because I'm pretty these two competitors, I don't see them staying long in NXT, because they have both got an ick factor. Or me personally, in my opinion. Do you have anything else before we move on to the next match?
Nine. I do not.
Okay. All right. Let's go to let's see what's the next one on the card. Let me find it here. We're gonna have for the NXT tag titles, the Creed brothers taking on the Pretty Deadly, the tag team champions of the world. Who do you like in this match and why?
Well, I'm gonna just lay it all out there. I'm gonna go with the Creeds, because if they don't win, remember the caveat is if they don't win, they're kicked out of Dynamite.
When you mentioned that, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I feel like if they don't win, they're gonna be kicked out of Dynamite. But at the same time, they could be onto something there, because, like I said, I think that they're really slowly transitioning Dynamite into a face stable, and that's what we all want. Because Roderick Strong's great, so is Damian Kemp is, for the first time I've seen him, he's pretty good too. So I think that they all deserve to be in that face role, because they need to face. They need a face faction to go against the God del Fantasma or the family,
Gotcha.
So I think that they're gonna win just for that reason alone.
I'm actually gonna go here two ways about it. I'm thinking Pretty Deadly is going to drop the titles to the Creed brothers, but I can also see Creed brothers losing, trying to have a dissension and breakup of Diamond Mine. We saw Ivy now pretty much might be doing her own thing with her own, and or she just wants to be along with the Creed brothers and leave Roderick Strong out. Remember, Roderick Strong wants to leave NXT and wants to go to AEW. He wants to be with his boyfriend Adam Cole. Wasn't happy there, and maybe that's a way of breaking that. And Damian Kemp, could actually turn on Roderick Strong and leave. It could go in any way. That's a wild card, because I could see where Pretty Deadly could drop the belt and be there and be Max Dupri's call up or acquisition in his new stable in SmackDown, or the breakup of Diamond Mine. So that'll be interesting. I'm right now 50-50 on that. If you're asking me, we're back to the wall. I think Creed brothers win. But that's just me being, so my prediction on Raw, on SmackDown comes true. So I'm going to be a little biased there. But we move on. We go to the women's tag team. We have Case and Kaden. What? Wrong one. Look at that. Botch. Man, I've been listening. I've been watching too much AEW. Here we go. We have Toxic Attraction versus Case and Carter. Who do you like and why?
It's hard to say, because that Katana Chance and Carter deserve to win the championships, but do you really want to take the titles off of Toxic Attraction? Think of it that way. You really don't want to take the titles off of them when they may or may not go up to the main roster and compete in this tournament whenever it's happening.
So who do you like?
Well, like I said, it's a tough choice. I'm gonna go with Katana Chance and Kaden Carter.
Okay, I'm looking at that there. I think Mandy Rose retains her belt and she stays as women's NXT champion. Though Toxic Attraction lost and Stand and Delivered, and they won it back again. I don't know what's the angle. If they thought they were ready to go up to the main roster and they changed their mind, that's why they dropped the title Stand and Deliver. I'm thinking Toxic Attraction works very well on the mic. They had thoughts about them coming up for this women's tag tournament. I don't know if that's still on. It say there's reports that they scrapped it. They're not going to go with it. But Toxic Attraction is so ready to go up to the main roster, ready to go and bring an influx of women's talent to SmackDown. I don't think not SmackDown, Raw, to Raw. I think SmackDown is okay with all the ladies. We saw that 6-pack challenge. I'm going tonight. I'm believing Katana and and Carter wins the tag belts. I think they also work well on the microphone, and I think they win tonight. They also come up victorious. Then a match that everyone wants to see. Very, very it's a grudge match. It's a 6-man tag. You have Los Fantasma versus Tony D'Angelo and La Familia. Fantasma de la Legado de Fantasma. Who do you think wins this one?
Again, another tough decision because you can't have Legado de Fantasma lose unless you really want them to add the star power to Tony D'Angelo and his family. But then at the same time, if you could have Tony D'Angelo lose, and then he'll join the family at Legado Fantasma, excuse me, and then he can start some inner turmoil between Santos and Joaquin Wilde and Del Toro Cruz. So I mean, I'm going. It's a toss up, really. 50-50. You really can't have it both ways. But I'm going to go with Legado del Fantasma.
All right. It's a 50-50 toss for me too. Especially if they're not going to bring up neither one of these groups. I don't think Tony D'Angelo and the Goombas have any leg to stand on the main roster. Or Tony D'Angelo himself can, but I don't think the other kids do. Unless, I wish it was Loser Leave Town and we could see the Legado del Fantasma move up, or even if I can see Tony win tonight and maybe they boot Escobar, where Cruz and the Toro, they both turn on and tell him to leave, and you see him next week on SmackDown with Elektra Lopez, in SmackDown, and keep the other two since they need more seasoning in and be Tony's stooge until they have a Warlord situation, release me out of my contract type of deal. It'll be interesting. It's a toss up to me too. That one I really wish I could give you, because I would like to know what the WWE storyline and the writers or bookers want to go with this. I didn't like the stipulation winner works for the family. It would have been loser leaves, but we'll see. It's all in all, I think In Your House, I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be a really interesting, a very fun pay-per-view. Remember, guys, NXT is an developmental league, a developmental wrestling league where these folks are learning how to work the microphone, work in front of a live crowd, a live audience on national television. And yes, the storyline might not be great. It might not be to your liking, to your appeasing, but you're not going to see a lot of botches here. And these are young guys that are learning. You don't see a lot of botches. There's botches, yes, but not like the way you see on AEW. These young men and women wrestle well. They wrestle there. That they put a lot of work in their craft in the performance center with the microphone skills. Do they cut a lot of promos? Yes, but it's a purpose for them to learn how to speak and develop on the mic and captivate us as an audience. Also to learn how to live out a character and storytell. So when they go to Raw and SmackDown, or even AEW, because that they're buying a lot of our NXT wrestlers as well, or in the indies, they know what they're doing. They're not going out there, dropping people on their heads. They're going out there and being entertainers. So you have to have an open mind when you watch NXT. If you want the perfection, go and watch Raw, WrestleMania, or go watch Ring of Honor old videos, because you're not gonna, you're gonna come and criticize it. Don't bother. Don't waste your time watching it if you're not gonna have an open mind. So that's my thoughts on it. I think it's gonna be a good pay-per-view. Before we wrap up, what are your thoughts on tonight? What are you expecting? Your expectations?
My expectations? I'm going to go with grade wise, or do you mean just in general?
Just in general.
Well,
we can't give it a grade because we haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I know what you mean. But no, I mean in general, I just feel like it's going to be a really overall good show. If it's not, then I want money back.
So. We'll conclude this here. Join us later on tonight after the NXT review. I don't know if you're able, Luther, to come back after the NXT review to go over it.
Maybe. Depending on how things go.
How late it comes out will be. If not, we'll look for us for Sunday to review it right before in Hell in the Cell. We'll review NXT. If not, we'll review it afterwards. But for myself, Samurai, we thank you for giving us something that we value, that you can never get back. It's called time. We thank you that you've given us your time to listen to us, to have us entertain and give us our thoughts on what we saw on Friday Night SmackDown. We thank you guys. We also ask you real quick, I want to tell you guys to go watch Rampage. It was a very entertaining show. You know, the tag team match between Rey Fenix, Penta Oscura versus the Young Bucks. Very good match. It was a very good, entertaining match between them. You saw CM Punk releasing his AEW title. He needs to have surgery on his ankles. An interim champion will be in place. Moxley will fight a winner of a battle royal, which I think it should have been having Page, but I don't have time to review that. You have to get going. I think, you know, he was the former champion. You have the former champion fight the winner of the Royal Rumble, of the Battle Royal. Excuse me. Look at that. Battle Royal then you have a match for the interim. But that's AEW kissing XWWE's rear end, as MJF says, and that's what that happens there. But we don't want to jump down that rabbit hole. All in all, Rampage was a very good show. Dante Martin versus Scorpio Sky for the TBS title. You know, Dante Martin is going to be a good wrestler, but here's AEW squashing another young talent with Scorpio Sky winning. And I know he's the tag champion. You don't want him to relinquish that, but you would have been nice to give Dante Martin a chance to hold that title, at least if it was for a week, and let Scorpio Sky come back and win it. At least get him hold the gold, for Christ's sakes. But that's them. Not always want older talent that has been elsewhere than elevating your in-house talent. But I digress there. But all in all, it was a good show. We thank you guys for listening to us. Listen to us on all the audio platforms as well. It's either Anchor FM, Spotify, Amazon Audio, Google, Apple, every one of those, Spotify, you name it, wherever you find your podcast, your audio podcast, just put BX Sports Jedi, Heal the Ring comes up, all the different ones. If it's the NXT, Raw, SmackDown, you name it, it's there. We review it, or any of the other programs. MMA Weekly with Austin and Chef Dan, they review all the MMA programming. Anywhere you go, we thank you guys for giving us opportunity. Please hit the thumbs up, share the video, like it, and we'll see you next time here. Remember, always pin life and always get over. Always get over, and we'll see you guys next time here. Enjoy the NXT In Your House programming, and we will be back, myself and the main man, Samurai. Samurai, say goodbye before we run the music.
Peace.
I'm awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up!
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a
looking
bat, I
at
don't
the
know, my
youngest
rap, my
and
blood
best
boils
rising
over
star
like,
in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough.
I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had such a fuck up real bad. Shut up. Bye, everybody.